Hello everyone, it's me and I am back with the second part of this video, just like I promised. This is pretty much where I left off last time, and my little boy here, Otto, is getting some color today. Well, not today, it was like 2 days of painting. Anyways, you know what I mean. For the first few coats or the base, I'm going to use these two very translucent paints that I honestly am never going to be using again, so might as well. By the way, I am using a new microphone. I don't know if the difference is noticeable, but yes, at first I wasn't sure if it sounded good or not, but I already asked my test audience. By test audience, I mean me randomly asking my boyfriend about it, and he said it sounds good, so yes, here we are. If I remember correctly, on my past video, I said that I will be explaining more about Otto and Milo in this video, and yeah, might as well start with that. Okay, so let me think. Otto and Milo were created back in one of my semesters in college before I graduated, and it was a sculpting class, I remember. And it was for the last project where we had to make a moving sculpture. And I remember I went for a little carousel, a little horror carousel thing. And I remember that the moving part was going to be the whole little thing just turning around and around with a little motor that my dad helped me find and he helped me put inside. And pretty much everything was finished. It was the last day before I had to present the project to the class. And I remember looking at the little carousel thing and just feeling that something was missing. I remember I was like, there's something missing, but I don't know what. Until I said to myself, maybe what I need is a mascot to go with the little carousel, you know? I mean, it's a carousel. Maybe I could draw a clown, or maybe I even thought of a ballerina if I remember correctly. But after much sketching on a random page, I found two little guys caught my attention, a green bunny and a yellow bear. At first, I wasn't convinced at all, but the more I looked at them, the more like they called to me, okay? It was the night before presenting the project, so I just pulled out some pieces of cardboard and I did the drawings as fast and as neat as I could. And yeah, that's pretty much how they were born in a way. I even think I still have some of the pictures of their first ever designs. I'm going to put them up if I find them. But yeah, that's the story of how Milo and Otto came to be. Now, why the names Milo and Otto? Honestly, I was just searching on Google names that like match because I mean they're a pair. You can't have Milo without Otto, you cannot have Otto without Milo. And I remember I was looking at this long list of matching names, and then I saw Otto and Milo. It was like one of the last ones actually, and I like the sound of it. I like how it went together. And also the other reason I like those names is that if you write Milo and you put capital M, you can add little bunny ears to the M. And same with the O, if it's capital O, you can add little bear ears to it. And I thought that was so funny. I don't know why. To the point I was like, you know what? That's it. This is Milo and this is Otto. Maybe a bit dumb, but yeah, that's how they got their names. Their colors. Why a green rabbit and a yellow bear? Honestly, I am not sure. I just remember that night I think it was 12 already. It was late. And I don't know why green and yellow were the first colors that came to mind to paint them. Honestly, I think Otto was inspired by Winnie the Pooh in his colors because when I was little, I really, really liked Winnie the Pooh. About the green rabbit, I don't know. Maybe I was just too tired and that's the first color I picked. Oh yeah, so I had a little companion helping me, keeping me company. This is Zero. This is my dog. Say hi. Back to the painting. So here I was giving him his black eyes, mouth, nose, and the inside of his ears. He kind of looks like a weird Mickey Mouse. So, Otto and Milo's designs were actually inspired by a real animatronic band called the Rockefeller Explosion. It was created and manufactured by Creative Engineering to use in the pizza restaurants called Showbiz Pizza in the 80s and even early 90s. If I remember correctly, they played rock, pop, and even country music, and each of the characters even had their own songs and albums. It was a very popular band back in the day, and like I said, their designs were really like the main inspiration for Otto and Milo. I'm going to put down below in the description box this website called showbizpizza.com where they pretty much have all the information about the animatronics, the band, Chuck E. Cheese back in the 80s and 90s. It's a whole thing. I really recommend it if for some reason you're interested in the animatronics as I am. I don't know why. I just think animatronics are so interesting, and I hope that one day I am able to either do an Otto or a Milo like full functional head. Maybe not like to the point he can talk and stuff, but maybe blinking and moving his mouth. That for sure will be a very big project, but maybe that's more in the further future. Anyways, back to Otto's and Milo's origin story of sorts. After I left that class, I had to take a painting class for my last semester in college. And for one of the projects, we had to create a scene. The professor said that we could use original characters for it, so that's what I did. The whole scene had Otto and Milo walking in the middle of a field. They look very old, very destroyed. They had their mechanical parts showing and stuff. And around them, there were people with some like happy face masks that covered their faces, and they were all connected to some like futuristic cables and stuff like that. I really wished I had a picture of the painting to show y'all because I think that me explaining it makes no sense. But the painting is back at the storage unit and there's just a bunch of stuff in there. But anyways, the whole story behind the painting was that these two animatronics were old technology, but they were still alive somehow. And the two were just walking around looking for a birthday kid to celebrate their birthday with because that's basically their whole thing. They just celebrate birthdays and stuff. And even though they were surrounded by people, their sensors couldn't tell that they were people because all of them had like these happy faces, masks slash helmets on. It's like the people were zombies, but they were still alive. They were just like inside these helmets that kept them from doing anything else, and they're just like being taken over by technology and stuff. But yeah, that was the painting, and I got 100, so I guess the professor liked it. And actually, from that same painting class, other two original characters were born. Now that I think about it. And those two other characters are another pair, is the sun and the moon. Not the most original idea out there, but yeah, they were for the last project on that class. We had to make two paintings that went together. And so I just did the sun and the moon. They had like bodies and everything. They were surrounding the earth, like protecting it and stuff. Those two characters can be a whole other video if I wanted to, honestly. Now, Otto and Milo don't really have like a story right now. The one I just said about the painting for my class, I don't know if that's where I want these two characters to like be. The only parts of the story, the lore, if you want, is that they basically live and work at a carnival, but the carnival closed one day, left them behind, and they don't know why. Yep, that's it. That's all I got for them. Anyways, so these are all the little things Otto is going to be holding or wearing. So this is where a little trouble starts, right? You see that colored thingy? Yeah, that. I didn't know how to attach it. And this is what I got. Look at it. I used the same clay to attach it to his neck, and I thought it was good. after I recorded that part, I realized I didn't like it. I actually hated it, so I ripped it apart and did it again. Anyways, after me solving that little problem, this is what I ended up with. Look at this, I even added a little bow in the back. I know it doesn't wrap all around his neck, there's a lot of parts that are ripped, but that's pretty much how it's supposed to go because they are old animatronics. Now I'm just going to grab his little hat and I'm going to write the word loser on it. I said it out loud and that sounded so mean. I don't know why. Like at the beginning, even in his first sketches, he had the word loser on the little hat. And for some reason, I never decided to think much of it or take it off. My only explanation is that because the whole thing was supposed to be horror, for some reason my mind decided to write the word loser on a party hat. Oh, look how handsome he looks. He's all done. He just needs his little microphone and his little cake. And pretty much as I finished the video, I ended up hot gluing the little cake and his hat so he wouldn't lose them. But yeah, after 2 days of painting and adding little details here and there, he is pretty much done. Alright, the process was fun and all, but this is the moment I've been waiting for. Don't they look so good together? And that's the end for this project. If you reached the end of this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm really happy that I can share my projects. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of my art, I'm going to put my Instagram in the description box down below. That's it for now. See you next time.